Hello everyone, this is Manisha. Today we're gonna discuss about how rivers are formed. Rivers carry huge amount of water with them, but where does that all water come from? You might be thinking that it probably comes from the rain. But then why there is water in the rivers even when it's not raining? Or why not all the places who receive rainfall have rivers? Why only limited rivers flows? In reality, even when it's rain, most of the rain fall directly into the ocean and rest of mostly fall on the ground or the vegetation. Moreover, part of the rain evaporates and returns to the atmosphere very quickly. Most of it is absorbed by the plant but also end up evaporating quite quickly. But fortunately, there is small amount of rain that remains. In fact, especially when it rains a lot, some of the water run off the surface, slide down the slope and finally collect there and form a river. But that still doesn't answer our question because there can be water in the river even weeks after the last rain. So where does that water come from? Rivers are basically water that moves from high elevation land to lower elevation land with the help of gravity. The water on higher elevation land can come from both rain as well as melting of glaciers. After that, the water either gets absorbed into the ground and starts to flow where there is land depression. This kind of downhill flow of water turns the land into the riverbed. Rivers are also formed when a group of various streams merge together. The smallest stream is known as tributary. So now we get the basics from where rivers get its water. Glaciers melt more during summer season than in winter. So the rivers become more dangerous and the dams help us to control the overflow of water. But now we will learn how rainwater flows even after months of rainfall. As we discussed before about the evaporation of rainwater quickly, it turns out that in winter, when less water evaporates through the plants, some water can infiltrate into the soil, much like when we water a plant and we observe that water is disappearing in the ground. But what happens when the water infiltrating downwards reaches the rocks that are under the topsoil? Well, it also depends what type of soil it finds, because there are some rocks that contain a lot of minor holes even though they are sometimes so small in size that we need a microscope to see them. These little holes are called pores, and the rocks that have many holes in them are called porous rocks. So there are porous rocks under the topsoil. The rainwater can seep through these holes and continue to flow downwards. And those rocks which have very few pores, in this case, those rocks are said impermeable rocks because water cannot pass through them. So in brief, the rocks who have many holes called porous rocks and the rocks who have very few pores called impermeable rocks. I hope this is clear. So when the water passes from the porous rocks and blocked by a layer of impermeable rocks, then the water start to collect between both the rocks, because impermeable layer of rocks stops the water going more downwards. In this way it forms large underground reservoir of water. We commonly called it underground water. So it slowly starts moving towards topography, and in some cases water can come out from the underground and return to the surface. In this way the rivers receive a lot of their water and flows even when it's not raining. Thank you for your attention. I hope you understand. Please consider subscribing if you would like to see more of such videos.